I'm Harriet Lane. I'm Miss International UK, and this is my interview with the Pageant Project.
Hi everyone, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project, and I have Harriet Lane, who's Miss International UK, with me. Harriet, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about where you are? You said you're a messy person, so...
Oh, my messy bedroom. That's where I am. So this is where I get ready. This is where I pretty much take selfies all the time. Great light. And I've got my setup here full of Hollywood lights. It's great for doing your makeup, selfies, and then, great sleep here.
Can you give us any idea as to how many selfies have been taken in that room?
On my phone, it says something like 5,000 selfies have been taken on my phone. And that's just on the selfie camera. Right. And never mind my actual photos. I think I've got 27,000 photos on my phone.
This is an interesting question. Are you a good selfie taker or are you a lousy selfie taker?
I'm a good one, I would say, but I'm fussy. I am so fussy when it comes to it. I have to have the perfect lighting, but right. I'm a little bit of a pain when it comes to it. So I've got that kind of lazy bit of it's going to be perfect. I'm such a perfectionist.
Right. Okay. And just before I forget, I was listening to, I think it was Jessica Barclay. I think she spent some time with you. Mm-hmm. She did a podcast with, I think it's one of the makeup guys, Baston. And she was saying how she doesn't have much makeup, but that you have apparently vast treasure troves of the stuff. So can you give us an idea? And I heard this, I thought it was hilarious. How much makeup is there in your general vicinity right now as we speak?
Oh, so I've literally just got in front of me these huge brush pots. These are just, and I've got another one here full of sponges. That's just brushes. And then I have a giant drawer in front of me that is just full of just my eyeshadows. And then I've got a huge tower, one of those IKEA, typical girl in the bedroom, full of 10 drawers, just full of foundations, you name it, I've got it.
Okay. All right. Guys, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments below. Harriet, I'll start with the easy part, which is, can you give us an idea as to your pageant history? I know that this obviously is not your first, but can you give us an idea as to how you got started in this crazy world?
So I believe it was 2012, at the very end of 2012, my mum entered me in a beauty competition, Miss Unity in Great Britain. And she didn't tell me until I got through to the semi-finals. And she told me once I was through, and I was dead excited. But the reason why she entered me was because I lost my confidence due to having skin grafts done. I burnt my leg when I was 12 years old. And I used to do a little bit of modeling very young, but just started and it just all stopped. My confidence just went. And she initially looked at model competitions and then pageants came up. So she had a look, she did a bit of research, asked around, and it was all really positive stuff. When we were, of course, skeptical that we expected toddlers and tiaras, as most people probably do. But we went for it in 2013. Was it 2013? I could be lying here. It could be in 2014 when I competed, but I competed in Miss Unity in Great Britain. I had the most insane time, and I've actually still got friends from that competition that I still see. And then from there, I went on to Junior Galaxy for the UK. I came third, and that was exciting. And then I went back for Miss Unity in Great Britain and taken back the crown. That was amazing. And then after my reign, I went back for the Galaxy competition, and that time I aged up to a teen. Yeah. So I ended up going, and I came third again, and I didn't give up. And I went back again, and I took the crown. Thankfully, like I worked so hard, and it was such a dream, that one. That felt like such a long journey of 3 times competing for it. It was like such a hard, tiresome couple of years for me, it felt like. Then I was lucky enough to travel to the USA. Florida, Orlando, to compete in the international with some incredible people around the world. I've made so many friends from that. Unfortunately, I didn't place, but I came with so many friends and such an incredible experience. And I told myself, I'm having a break. I'm going to have this year. I'm going to just chill. I've got lots going on. I've got like work opportunities. Let's just have a breather. And then I handed back my title as Miss Teen Galaxy England. And as soon as I stepped off the stage, I'm like, I'm doing Power Pageant. And I went to my mum. I was like, I'm doing another one. I can't wait. So I then competed in Power Pageant, which involves Miss International UK and Grand and the title of Miss Pageant Girl. Yeah. And here we are.
So you didn't really have much of a break, let's be honest. Whilst you were on set, about 5 minutes.
Literally, I have not stopped since I was 13. Like, not a break. But also, I don't know what a break would be, because I would still be doing everything as normal, but just without the competing side. Nearly lost you.
You're good.
I'm losing you. The iPad's going. There we go.
So, obviously, hard work for you is a huge thing. Can you give us an idea as to what an average week in your life looks like? Can you even do that, or is every week different?
Every week is so different for me, honestly. But a normal week for me at the minute, I work full time at a restaurant. I am a head hostess, and that's about 40 hours a week.
Wow.
So it's very busy with that. And then on the pageants, I try my best to get as many volunteering kind of hours in. On a Sunday, I'm usually free. There's a lot of pageants happening locally, so I try my best, head down there, judge a pageant. Also, during my week, I try to go to the gym 5 times for an hour, because I love my food, so I got to have the balance. So I can eat a donut, but I still go to the gym.
Is that your favorite food? I mean, it wouldn't be a pageant interview if we didn't discuss food. So are donuts it for you, or is there something else that I'm missing? It's normally chocolate.
I love all food, but... You know what? Like, chocolate's great, but there's so many other things I would have. Like, to be fair, sushi is like my number one food. Like, if I could go out for dinner, but as like a snack, I go through phases. I actually just love fruit with like granola on, loads of syrup.
Oh, okay. That's healthier.
So not your normal.
That's healthier than the usual conversation I have. It's normally revolving around chocolate and donuts and chips and everything else. I will just pop over to actually, before I pop over to Facebook, we can barely see your crown. So are you able to just do a bit of show and tell with your crown before you put it back?
Yeah, so this is my crown that I won in June. It is incredible. It's very big. So, yeah, and oh my God, I was actually just here. I also won. I call it a wand, but it's actually called a scepter.
A wand. Yeah, I think a scepter is a bit better.
I call it a wand. So that's really cute, and I've got my sash as well, but I'm sure you've all seen all the
How did it feel to win that crown?
I honestly didn't expect it. Like, I don't know if you've seen the photos, but when the name was announced, I'm actually clapping because I was in such shock, and I was looking around to see who was won, because I was genuinely excited because I knew it was going to be such a big year in Japan for someone. I was like, oh my God, I never... Like,
you were clapping for yourself?
I didn't believe I could. Yes, I was like, just then, I didn't realise, and I've got the other girls turning around, it's like, it's you. But it was such an incredible like experience having that crown. And the first thing I just went, I'm going to Japan. Like, it's just mind blowing. That was literally the first thing I actually said it to Sharon. I was like, I'm going to Japan.
Well, it's lucky that you like sushi. I mean, that's a perfect country to go to.
I know, I can't wait. I've always actually wanted to travel to Japan, but it's so far away, and it's not the cheapest of destinations, especially from the UK. No. It's a lot of flights, and it's a long way to go and to find a friend to go with as well.
Just before, I am going to go to this. Oh, gee, there's a lot of stuff on Facebook. Before I go there, just with the hard work, because you're obviously incredibly hardworking. Can you give me an idea as to where that started from? Has that always been you? Is it something that your parents ingrained in you? Where did that come from?
So on the kind of the website for Miss Unity in Great Britain, it said that you're welcome to do appearances with your sash. So they gave some examples of like volunteer and things. So I'm like, oh, well, this looks good. And I'd done a few events and stuff, and I really enjoyed it. So I kept going to more, and I felt like I had such a support from my community, and it felt like I had so much to like have a platform, to have a voice, and at such a small level I was able to do so much more without having the sash. So I kind of got into that way, and it almost became this habit, like, oh, let's go do something, let's go out, there's a volunteering event. And a lot of people start to ask you, then they've seen you places, you meet contacts, and they're like, oh my god, we've got this gala, come to this. And it ended up just slowly happening, and like once it started rolling, I got more into it. And yeah, so my parents were really supportive. My mum literally drove me everywhere. She still does now, even though I drive. Like, my mum still drives me everywhere. But hard work was definitely through pageants that it taught me so much to give back to the community, that to use your voice.
Yeah. And how do you balance it all? And what do you do to just de-stress? Or are you working all the time?
To be honest, I go, oh my god, I just need a day to chill, and I'll do nothing. And I am so bored out of my mind. I'm just like, I need to be doing something. I'm one of those people that I can't rest, and like, I'm a morning person. I get up, I go do things. So me kind of lying and doing nothing never really happens. Never even a lie-in.
That might even be a first, a pageant girl who's actually a morning person. Normally they're all night owls. I know, because I've asked all of them. I'm going to go over to Facebook. Joanna Johnson has said, hi Joe, fun fact, I judged Harriet when she won Junior Teen Great Britain and International UK. How well do you know Joe?
Really well. So I've known Jo since 2015 when she won Miss Supermodel UK. It was the first time we had that crown at the Power pageant, so she competed from there. She was sister queens with Misha at the time, and me and Misha were also sister queens. And the pageant girl family is literally such a family, and from there we got to know each other, not as close until Galaxy, where we were sister queens, and that was like a bond like can't be broken between us girls. It's such an incredible friendship, and from like the laughter, like now we go to Beth's wedding, which was an incredible experience to see like a friend get married, and like sharing a hotel room with like 10 crazy pageant girls. It's like you get to know each other so close and very quick.
I can't imagine there'd be much sleep if you're in a room with 10 of these girls. I mean, I can't imagine there being much quiet in that kind of room. Kelsey?
No, definitely not.
Kelsey Poulton. So you've got both Miss Galaxies on. Kelsey has said, this girl has a heart of gold, so much love. And Kerry Scobie has, well, I'm going to say she said, hey, you beautiful, but it's a lot of Y's, a lot of E's, and a lot of U's. So it's more like, hey, you beautiful, with lots of hearts. She's also written...
Not sure.
Starbucks coffee.
Oh, I'm a Starbucks addict.
Right.
Total Starbucks addict.
I also remember, because you shared my post, and you were saying that you were not going to talk about the dress. So what... Is there some grand secret with the dress? Is there? You've got a secret dress or secret outfit that you're not telling anyone?
So it's just the surprise, my evening gown that has been designed by her now. So I'm not showing any photos, no sneak peeks, no sneak colours. It's going to be a complete surprise. As
it should be. Joanna Johnson has also said, destined for great things, this young lady.
Oh, thank you.
This is a bit weird. It looks like you've commented underneath Starbucks addict.
That'd be my mum.
Oh, okay.
My mum's my momager.
Right.
It's like mum would just like comment and just...
I was going, wow, that's great. You're having an interview with me and you can actually multitask and actually write the comment at the same time. I'm impressed. Jenny McLaughlin has said, hi, gorgeous. Sarah Lane has said, taxi. Is that your mum?
Oh, Sarah's the mum.
So Sarah is...
Yeah, she's taxi.
The chauffeur driver of the taxi.
Yeah.
Anthony Giannopoulou has said, Harriet, love your sun-kissed colour. OMG. All right.
It's false. It's all false time.
So, guys, if you have any questions for Harriet, put them in the comments. I'm just going to go over to Instagram, Harriet, because there were a bunch of questions here. I've been actually dying to ask you a question. It was with it's a silly question, but the Instagram, the blue tick. You're the first person I've interviewed who has a blue tick. How do you go about getting that?
Woo! So when I actually came off my flight from Indonesia, my mum just said, check your Instagram. And I was like looking like, yeah, what? And I didn't notice until like a few minutes later, and it was like, there's a blue tick. And it was just like, I kind of had a double take on, nah, it's going to be an issue. There's something wrong. Like, I couldn't believe it. So it just appeared. Like, it just came from when I came back from Indonesia. I literally just hopped off my flight and there it was.
You don't have to apply for it or anything. You just got it one day. Because
a few years ago, I tried to apply for it and nothing happened from it. But when I got back from Indonesia, it was actually just there. I don't know if it was the high traffic from Indonesia. I got like so many views and like on the insights on my Instagram went crazy that I had like 800,000 impressions in a week's time. Jeez. So it was mental. So I don't know if it was just from. It
certainly couldn't have hurt. How does it feel having a blue tick?
It's kind of like I'm quite humble, so it's one of those things that like it's very surreal. I don't think it changes a lot to me anyway.
Right. It is kind of cool though. As I said, you're the first person I've interviewed who's had that blue tick, so I just had to ask. Okay. Instagram questions. Olivia McPike has asked, what has been the highlight of your pageant journey so far?
Ooh, that's hard to just pick one thing. I think, the friendships is something, I know it's quite cheesy and I'm sure a lot of people say the friendships, like, especially when I went to Galaxy, that was incredible. Like, meeting my friend Hannah Kavanagh and Kristen Kavanagh, not related. They're one from Ireland, one from Australia. They were like full-on soulmate friendships to me. And that has been such a highlight that we're still in contact. That for me, having such incredible friendships around the world, that has to be my highlight. But there's so many other things that the people I've got to meet is being something else, honestly.
I've got a question here. How tall are you, with a smiley face?
So people are quite curious my height. I am 6 feet tall, and normally it is 182 centimeters, maybe 180 centimeters. I'm not too sure. I work in feet rather than centimeters.
It's 100, you can give yourself one more. It's 183.
Oh, it's 183. So, yeah, so I am very tall.
Have you ever met a pageant girl who's taller than yourself?
Yes, I have, actually.
Really?
When I was competing as a teen, it was the time I came third in 2016, I believe, or 2017. And she was 2 inches taller than me. So it was very surreal to have someone tall. Like, if I meet another girl, I'm just like, what? Like, taller? I'm like, what? It's totally strange having someone taller.
That would have been a very odd perspective for yourself, as probably you're used to looking down at everyone, especially when you're wearing heels, and then to actually be looking up at another person.
Yeah, it's so strange. It's so strange.
How quickly did you get that tall? Because I'm over 6 foot and I got that tall by the end of year 6. If you look at my year 6 photos, I'm double the height of everyone. It was crazy. Did you grow very quickly?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yes, I did. So from primary, I was always taller than everybody else, including the boys, other girls, and even the years above. And from there, kept growing, still very tall. And then from then, at 12 years old, I was like 5'9".
Wow.
So at age 13, I managed to like hit my 6 foot. So I was tall very fast, very fast.
Was that ever an issue for you at school? Because very often when you're tall that early, that can be yet another reason for people to bully people. Or was it all good for you?
It was definitely a strange thing. It wasn't something I was definitely bullied for, that I just felt very uncomfortable. Like when I was younger, like I got a bit of I felt awkward, out of place, and I just didn't feel like comfortable myself. I had horrific posture, trying to make myself smaller, that I felt uncomfortable like dressing in like out there clothes because I already felt so much like out there. It did like knock my confidence a bit, but now from about 15 I just grew to love it. I think pageantry like totally helped me do that. Standing out, it's like such a positive thing.
Well, yeah, definitely now I would imagine it's a huge advantage both in pageantry and modelling to be tall. That's a good thing, not a bad
definitely.
thing. I don't know who Winda Priliana. What's your purpose of winning? What's your purpose of winning Miss International 2019? So I guess heading over to Japan, what would be your purpose be in winning?
Oh, that's like a good question. So what I would want to do is inspire more women to get into pageants. I don't know if everyone knows, I run something called the Pageant Network. It's split into like Northeast, Northwest, Southeast, Southwest, and London. So it's a community for pageant girls, and that's including mums, families, to support one another in the community, to get to fundraising, to help each other, like build confidence, advice. That's kind of what my purpose would be, is to make sure every woman can go chase their dreams. They are enough. So that's kind of my goal, is if I was lucky enough to win Miss International.
I'm glad you brought that up because I did see that somewhere. So when can you give us more details about the Pageant Network and how you started it up?
So I believe it was in 2014. So the reason I started it up, because daily inboxes, I would get about 5 messages. How do I get into pageants? What do I do? Loads of pageant questions. And I got to a point that I couldn't reply to everyone, that I got too much myself. And this is where I call her momager. So my mum helps, and she was replying, and then I was just like, oh, why don't we create like a group chat or something where we can just get everyone together and like support one another. And then I came up with kind of the idea of like a pageant network. I was like, how good would it be just in the Northeast area? Because a lot of the contacts I know, they travel around the Northeast. It's not too bad to get around. It's only a couple hours away from each part, and therefore I created a page, the Northeast Pageant Network, and from there it's been an absolute movement of inspirational women who volunteer, inspire more generations, and fundraise.
Right, and then it grew to the other parts of the UK as well.
Yes, that has just been recent, earlier this year actually. It's something I intended on doing for a long time, but again, I've been so busy and I only got a chance to do it. But I've got different like admins, so who are kind of the leader, so someone to go to for direct help, going, can you just help me with this please, or could you explain a little bit more about that? So someone to really go to within the network.
Do you have a rough idea as to how many people are in the network?
Oh,
just rough idea, not exact numbers.
About 800.
Wow. Okay, that's a lot of pageant girls, a lot of pageant mums.
Yeah, there's a lot of women, a lot of like women and men. So
So you said that you got a lot of inbox messages asking how to get into pageantry. So if someone did have that question, what would be your answer now?
I normally ask, have they already applied for a pageant? Like, are they in one? Do you have a title? As some girls have already entered a competition and wanted to know like what to do. And if they haven't, I normally recommend doing a pageant girl pageant, because it's such an incredible system that is so trustworthy. Holly's pageants are like amazing, from start to finish, and I would always put that first. And then I would say get yourself with your sash to appearances, to events, add them to the Northeast Pageant Network. I'm like, here's a support for you. And then from there, help them with dresses, and say something that it doesn't need to be the most expensive dress. It just needs to be something that suits you and age appropriate. So that's, and then if they had more questions, I'll just help with those.
How long have you known Halle Puri? I'm interviewing her next week and I'm really excited about it because I think she's probably one of the big reasons why the UK pageant family is a family, is because she's involved in it and she set up so many pageants and everyone sort of comes together. So how long and how well have you known Holly?
So since 2013, when I was first competing, I remember walking into the dress studio for the first time, and it was just this amazing experience, start to finish, trying on my first kind of gown. So it was a very special moment. So from there, she was already very proud of what I was doing. She was proud of every girl that competes. It's so incredible that she's so supportive of every girl, and she's genuinely so proud of everything each pageant girl does within the competition. But from there, she's just supported me, loved me, watching me kind of grow, like from being a insecure girl to this confident young woman now. But we've become very close, especially with the pageants. And again, when I was in Galaxy in USA, that was such a special time, especially with her being out there. You get very close to each other. You really do become like this family that just support one another.
Yeah. And she's going over to Japan with you. I think I saw that somewhere.
Yeah, she is. So I'm dead excited. Her and Hannah. Hannah's also a pageant girl, kind of official person. Right. So she helps Holly at the pageants and she does social media. So she'll be coming along as well. So it'll be super exciting to have them support me and cheer me on at the final.
Perfect. How's your Japanese?
Oh, konnichiwa, watashi wa Harriet desu. So that's about as far as I'm getting so far. I don't have great pronunciation.
That wasn't bad. You know what you said though, right? Okay.
Yes. Hello, my name is Harriet. So that's always a good start.
All right. Another question from the same person. What's the best value in yourself that helped you become who you are today and maybe to win Miss International 2019? Maybe what's the best quality in yourself, or the quality that you most value in yourself?
I think it's my determination, because even though I wasn't expecting to win Miss International, I had the determination to one day win it. At 13 years old, it was actually the first time watching a pageant, and I watched the Power Pageant. And I remember my mum sitting next to me. I was like, oh, we'll have to do that one day when you're old enough. And I watched Victoria Tooby take the crown, and that was such a magical moment to watch someone who I actually met her the day I first went to the dress studio. Right. And it was this beautiful blonde girl who I've in heels, and I remember her twirling around in a pretty dress, and I was just like, oh my God, that's amazing. And watching her win and watching her journey, I was just like, oh my God. So the determination of going, I want to win that pageant. But I also had the mindset, it could not be this year, but one day I'll get there. I'll strive for what I want and kind of work hard for it, develop myself. And I think that's got me. It's such a long way that I've not given up on anything, that I'll go back, I'll try harder, I'll grow. So I think determination has got me where I am today.
And you took that mindset. You already said that when they called you as a winner, you didn't think it was you. So are you taking the same mindset into internationals?
I think it's a slightly different mindset, because I have this one opportunity for Miss International, and I'm putting my heart and soul into every day to try my best and show kind of my true traits and what I want to do as Miss International. My determination will be definitely coming with me to be the best version of myself as Miss International UK.
Perfect. So when you look back on your reign as Miss International UK and maybe Miss International, what would you most like to be remembered for?
I think I'm quite lucky in the pageant world that people know me as being Harriet Lane rather than she had a crown. And I think I like the idea of being, she was always the one who went for it, the determination, but still humble and kind of never let anyone kind of behind, that I always brought people with me who helped me up. I think that's what I've always wanted to be remembered as a person rather as Miss International UK.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. One more Instagram question. This is from Jessica, I think Jessica Barclay. What keeps you motivated when you're having down days?
I think the gym. That I definitely get myself motivated, or if I feel a bit down, a little bit sad, I go into the gym, working hard, and just starting something, you feel so empowered within yourself. And even if it's like after that shower, put full face on, and I really just get myself out when I can. So that's kind of like my thing when I feel a bit down and sad on those days.
I mean, you seem like a pretty positive person. So do you have many down days?
Yes, I do. It's something that I spoke out about, that mental health I have suffered with since I was a young age. I suffered different kinds of bullying and like some bad experiences. So there was days where I felt sad and once upon a time I needed help, but here I am at the other side, stronger than ever. But I've grown and I've learned what to do with myself, and I've learned that being strong, that something mental, you can overcome it, that it's not just that, and remembering that situation is a situation rather than a bad life. Yeah,
absolutely. I'm just going to go back to Facebook for a second. Jennifer Michaela has said, "Hi Harriet, 18 and amazing." And L Natasha Uyal has said, "You're so glowy, I can't even." There's a lot of people talking about how glowy you are.
In my glow, I went natural today. I'm at work later, so I'll save all the proper pageant look for later.
Right. This might be a bit early to ask, but do you know where you see yourself maybe in a year's time, 5 years' time, God forbid 10 years' time, not only in pageantry, but just with your goals in life in general, or is it too early to ask?
I think 5 years I definitely have sort of like a plan that I want to start my own business. I would like to have a deposit on a house in 5 years' time, and even if that's the end, that's a big thing for me to have my own home, start, that sort of stuff. I think just finding inner peace to be happy completely within my body. I think that's a big goal that I don't expect it to happen overnight. I do have that as a 5-year kind of plan, to really love everything about me, because we all have insecurities, and one day I would love to wake up and go, there's nothing I would change about myself. I love the body that I'm in.
Have you got any tips for maybe girls who are dealing with that? Because I'm sure we talked, obviously with Instagram, you've got the blue tick, you're 6 foot tall, you do a lot of modeling. So there will probably be some girls who will look at you and go, how on earth could she be insecure with how she looks? So I think it's important for them to first off know that you have your insecurities as well. But when it comes to dealing with those insecurities, what have you found works for you?
So I try to tell myself, rather than focus on the negatives, try to focus on the good stuff that you do like about yourself. Yeah. You might go, I like the colour of my eyes, I like the way my hair looks today, and just doing things that make you feel good. For me, having a routine of eating healthy, like even going back to the snacks, something that makes me feel good. Like I can change my whole mindset of how I look, from if I go to the gym, if I just put a little bit of like make my moisturize, that sort of stuff, that just makes me feel good about myself. Surround yourself with positive people as well. I think that's so important that you also have good people around you, because I think it can affect of how you feel in yourself.
Definitely.
And complimenting others, they'll get compliments back, and you feel better about yourself.
Since we're on the topic of circle of friends, is there anyone in particular that you want to give a shout out to, or thanks for supporting you along your pageant journey so far?
It's just my mum. My mum's like my best friend. So, yeah, the taxi driver. Taxi driver is my best friend. She's the one that's totally supported me through everything. She's put up with me having a meltdown at a pageant, and pretty much like my curling irons wouldn't work in America, and I remember nearly crying on the first day. It's like, it won't work on orientation, and she's always there. Not all heroes wear capes, so there's definitely a shout out to my mum.
Has she given any thought? Obviously, I don't know your mum, but she's been around you so much. Has she given any thoughts to competing in a pageant herself?
Absolutely not. Well, I actually applied her in one, and she just went, never. So hopefully I'll get her to do one next year or so. But once she's all fit and well, I think I can convince her.
Right. Well, I mean, you did say earlier on that she entered you, so it might be, turnabout is fair play.
It's only fair.
Exactly. You enter her in one as a surprise.
Yes.
Don't tell her I said that. I don't think she'd be impressed. Lorraine Lax has said Miss Universe. I think that's probably a hint as to what she wants you to go into next. Sarah Lane has said Proud Momager. She's also said Stop, I Will Cry. That's probably about the compliments you were giving her, not about entering her in a pageant. Sarah, you're around pageants so much, you might as well enter.
She's the pageant expert.
Yeah. Well, we all need our pageant mums. Okay, so guys, if you have any final questions for Harriet, put them on in the comments. Otherwise, I'm going to run her through the final 10 questions. Harriet, I don't know if you've heard the final 10 questions, but I end every interview with the same 10. So,
yes, I have.
Now it's your turn. So, number 1, what is your favorite word?
I say this word called grat, right? It just means great, but I've just pronounced it funny, so grat. Everything's grat.
Say that again. What is it?
So the word great, I say it as grat. Like, I don't know why. I don't know where I've picked it up from. I'll go through phases, but I'm a little bit strange, so my favorite word's grat.
Okay. Question 2, what is your least favorite word?
Oh, I don't have one.
That's fair. Okay, we can skip along to the next one. In life, what gets you excited? What turns you on?
Good food, just making me happy, just makes me excited. I love anything to do with food, cooking. It's just an experience thing for me.
And what turns you off?
Rude people.
You said that you...
Like people who are kind of...
You said you worked as a hostess, isn't it?
Yes, as a hostess. So I work with kind of greeting people to a table in a restaurant or like a high-end fine dining.
Nice.
And I kind of host it side of the party club side as well, which is exciting.
And do you have to deal with many rude people in that job?
So I've just started. So I've only had a couple of weeks serving, but I really enjoy it so far. So no rude people at the moment.
Perfect. Okay. Question 5. What sound or noise do you love?
So you know that little sound like on Facebook when you refresh your messages? It makes like a really good sound. That is my favorite sound like ever. Like if I'm just like sat in bed bored, should I play it?
Can you actually play
I feel like I should play it. I think so. I'm going to try. See if it...
I've never had anyone actually play.
It's not working.
Do you mean when you...
I'm devastated.
When you get a message or when you are refreshing?
No, like when you refresh on like your messages like that, and then they've took it away. They've took away my favorite sound.
And that's...
I don't know how I'm going to go on.
That's happened to you on air live. That's no good.
I know, that's tragic. It's tragic.
Maybe it will come back later on. Okay, on the same topic, what is your least favorite sound?
Proper traditional. I hate like chalk on a chalkboard. It just makes my skin crawl.
Question 7. If you could have any one superpower, what would you pick and why?
I think to read people's minds. I think that would be really cool. That I always wonder what people are thinking, you know, kind of like even random people or a friend, how they feel. Yeah. So they might say like they're having a great day and seeing if they actually feeling okay or that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Question 8. What job or occupation other than your own would you most like to attempt?
I think being a presenter.
Okay.
I would love to try presenting, so on like a TV show or maybe the radio. I do like that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Is there anything in particular that you'd like to present?
I don't think I've really thought about it, but I think some sort of fun chat show for sure, though.
Right. Okay. Well, question 9. What job or occupation other than your own would you definitely not like to attempt?
I think being an air hostess. I think that'll be my nightmare job. I hate flying. Like, I'm a bad flyer. I'm quite nervous, and I definitely used to be quite scared of flying. So the thought of being trapped on a plane for a few hours and working, I think I would cry.
So how have you dealt with all the traveling you've done already? Because you've flown to a lot of different countries for pageants and modeling.
So yes, I think being by myself actually helps a little bit more. That I've got kind of just to be independent and like rely only on myself. Like, right. I've got to get on with this. It's a bigger opportunity, and then I just sleep.
So you don't have to worry about it because you've passed out.
Yeah, I've just slept the entire time.
Okay. All right, that's a good tip. I'll have to remember that one for next time. Final question. If heaven exists, what would you like to hear God say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
I think if it was I fulfilled the purpose, like, on earth, because I kind of want to know why we are here. It's always that question, like, what's our purpose? Because sometimes you have the thought of, like, what's the direction? What's the point of all this work for money and this term of success? Have I done the right thing?
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to go over to Facebook one last time. Sarah, your momager, no surprise pageants, thanks.
Oh, she doesn't know it. There's definitely going to be a surprise pageant.
I think it would make a perfect Christmas present or a perfect birthday present. Janine Maccabi has said, Harriet Lane, we love you, with lots of O's.
Love you too.
I'm guessing I know the answer to this, but she's asked, how excited are you to wear your anars?
Oh my god, it's so incredible. I remember walking in and seeing it, but like, I am so excited to get on stage and wear it. Hopefully I'll do a photo shoot, so on the day of competing I might release it. So that's going to be a moment that's incredible. Like, if there was a dress that was just me, I think a lot of people can guess the colour that I've gone for, but I'm very excited.
You're really keeping this a closely guarded secret, aren't you?
Very much so.
This is a thing in the UK. You guys seem to plan your outfits out a lot further ahead than what I've seen in Australia, and you guys get really excited about designing your own things. It's amazing. Well, Harriet, thank you so much for your time, and best of luck over in Japan. When are you actually heading over? So
I leave on the 24th of October, I believe. Yeah. I can't remember, it's 24th or 25th, how bad's that? But I leave on one of those days. And then I return at the 20th of November.
Oh, right. So you're actually having a bit of time over in Japan as well.
Yeah, so having a little bit of a holiday with the family.
Well, that'll be nice. Are you going to be all right having a holiday, or you're going to need to do some work? You seem to be lost when you're not working.
It can be worky too. I'll make it happen.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Harriet, I'm just going to keep you on the line for a little bit longer, but I'm going to let the audience go. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll speak to you again next time.
Hey, it's Adrian. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to keep up to date with our interviews, then make sure to subscribe by clicking here. If you'd like to watch some of our interviews right now, then click here, and also make sure to follow us on all our socials right here. Speak to you next time.